tuning in, trying to find out how to win. Go along and tell a friend, marathon, you know the game. Keep on running, never end, getting better, make amend. Adam got it, Adam got it, Adam got it, Adam got it. Parrsitivity, 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 parrsitivity. Tune in.
It's great to have you on the podcast. How you doing?
Thanks, man. Thanks. I'm doing amazing. How about you, bro?
Good. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's great to have you back on the podcast again, and it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. You know, last time we had we have done 2 episodes already together. The last episode was on, I think it was on my podcast, but the first one was on yours, and it was both episodes, bro. Like hands down, where it was interesting.
Yeah. No, that's it. And like, I think we just have this natural kind of vibe where we just kind of go with the flow, and we just kind of create waves.
And look, you know what's crazy? That's how I do my podcast. Like people say, "Oh, do you have a script? Do you have a script?" I'm like, a script. I mean, yeah, it'll be more. You might be more organized with a script, but like I flow better when I'm like, oh, like just off my head. I flow better when I just like think of something and come up and say it. It's more of an actual conversation than like, you know, okay, next I'm gonna ask you this question. Okay, then I'm gonna answer this. Like, you know, it's better when you free flow like that. For me, yeah. I know it is.
Yeah, no, I feel that too. And I've done podcasts where I've had people who've got a bit of background, and you have to kind of sometimes do a bit of research there, and you're like make a few bullet points. But like to have that kind of structure, I think if it's too structured, it's like you make it more difficult for yourself because you're thinking more about what you need to say next, and you're not thinking about what's kind of in the moment and things like that. And that's kind of where that kind of magic happens in that moment where you're just kind of vibing and you know what I mean, passing the baton back and forth.
Right. I know what you're talking about, bro. I'm
but
ready,
like,
bro.
Yeah, but no, I really love your podcast, the Tyren Lee Podcast, and you know you're showing and strong on your side of things, and like, yeah, like how's your podcast going? You enjoying it?
Man, you know, I know for sure that's one of my passions that God gave me, bro. And I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Compliment. I really appreciate that. Like I said, I started that like almost a year ago. No, it was over a year ago. And ever since, man, I've just been consistent with it. And that's what I like about you as well, about the Parrsitivity Podcast. The consistency is everything, bro. Like just stay consistent, putting out content. Even if you do like 3 a week or you do 1 a week, like I do, whatever the amount you do a week, continually to do that, because like you build experience when you just do that for years. People like, oh, how long have you been running this? Oh, 3 years. Oh, whoa. Like, you know what you're doing. And like, I just been running it, and, you know, having guests on that I could just learn from them. And like, that's the reason why I podcast, because it's not just for me talking, you know, anybody can talk. It's about me having the blessing to get people on that's doing big things, or organizations, people who are CEOs, people who are in the NFL, the sports, people who are, you know, young kids, entrepreneurs, like having the blessing and the ability to put them on a show and learn from their mindset. That's the beauty of podcasting. And I think that's what like like Joe Rogan, any big person out there that have a show like you, I think that's what you're trying to do as well. You're learning from your guests. You're not just talking, you're trying to learn, see what they're see how they got to where they are, see how they think, you know. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why I love doing it. And every time you see me in the episode, you just saw always laughing and always smiling. Yeah. Because like it's just that's like a little timepiece of happiness for me. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a joy. I love, even if I don't get the most, like a lot of views on that certain episode, something like that, I just love the opportunity, and it's amazing, bro.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, and I think like it's not like, I don't think it should be like a numbers game where we're so focused on the numbers. It's about, you know, in that if you get 20 views or 30 views, you know, it's who is listening or who is watching in that 30. And you could get somebody who's a CEO of a big company, and then they refer it to somebody. You just don't know. Or in that 5 people, you just don't know.
Because like 30 views of big people is far way better than 100 views of people that, you know, not like just carelessly watching a show or not doing anything, just can't what should I say? I don't know.
Like traffic.
I think I think I know, you know what I'm talking about, like say 10
Yeah.
views of big people that could get you somewhere. That's way better than like 100 or some 20 people or that like really can't do nothing, you know. So it's like the numbers game. We could get mixed up in that. We could get like a little bit anxiety and depressed about numbers sometimes. But like I said in my last episode, it's numbers doesn't mean anything, you know. And plus we should always, like me and you talked about like on our last episode, you know, it's a marathon. It's a marathon, and we have to recognize that it's going to take a time. It's going to take a long time for us to get where we want to go. Dude, look, I'm 20, and you're in your 20s as well. You know, if this podcast don't blow up, if our podcast don't blow up in 5 years, that's okay. We're still gonna, if it blows up in 5 years, at that 5-year mark, we're still gonna be young, making a lot of, you know. So it's like, it's not gonna be, you know. I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, but like, I'm gonna be 25.
I know what you're talking about.
Say the Tyren Lee Podcast get like a Joe Rogan. I doubt it, but get somewhere close to Joe Rogan at like in a 5-year mark. Say 10 year. I'm gonna say 10 year. It's like Joe Rogan. I'm 30. I'm still young, making all that money, so it's still a young age, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so now as I think about that, it's like I'm not even gonna be old at 30. So it's like it's a marathon, bro. It's just patience. It's patience, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And I think that's something that I've been learning whilst doing podcasting. And I say it time and time again that I kind of like to hit the ground running. I like to be confident when I do things. And, you know, podcasting in this kind of game, you kind of have to get uncomfortable and, you know, like, you're not always going to do well sometimes. And, you know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get a lot of no's. And it's a process. And, you know, you're reaching out to people, trying to get people on the podcast. People don't reply. People say no.
People say
there's a lot of a lot of rejection.
Bro. Yes.
And like what you said, I was looking at one of Joe Rogan's episodes the other day, and it came on my suggestions, and it was a guy called Jason Silver. Have you heard of Jason Silver?
I think so.
He does like these inspirational rants, and it was Joe Rogan episode 143 or something like that. And it was 7 years ago. Dang. And I'll send it you. And in the background, there's a couch. There's a random guy like smoking on the background of this couch. There's like this table with like clutter everywhere. There's like a random projector. He's wearing like a t-shirt and like a shirt over that. And I'm like, it just looks really like crap and unprofessional. But like, I was like, you know, look at where he was 7 years ago and look where he is today. So,
dude, that's motivation in itself. You know what's crazy? I had listened to one day, like, let me see, you know how he's like on episode like 1,500 something right now.
Yeah.
I said, let me listen to his first episode and see how that was. And I kept scrolling on my Apple iTunes, like I kept scrolling down, and I found out, I said, oh, this is about to be deep. And I clicked it, and it wasn't bad, but you can tell it was his first time doing it, and it didn't sound, because he was being goofy and laughing, but it didn't sound like it is now today. And I was like, dang, bro, the progress over time. And I'm like, it's just, bro, Gary Vee talks about it all the time. He say, if it was one word I could say, it's patience. Patience, man. Like and I know we always talk about this, but like the audacity to want things to come fast, you know, that's what's going to slow us down. Wanting things to go fast, wanting things to come fast, what's slowing us down, basically. Well, I didn't ever say it like that. That's crazy. It causes us to get, you know, depressed and have anxiety and stuff because we want it quick. You know what's crazy? Even if we got it, say next year, it was our year that both of our shows popped and we made like millions of dollars and got a lot of sponsors and, you know, big guests came on. We probably would feel good at the moment, but it's like we wouldn't really feel like we worked that hard. Like it's going to feel like, dang, it's like this is a little bit too easy. Like this came a little bit too quick for me. Yeah, it came a little bit too quick. We gonna feel like that, and deep inside, we might not say it, but we gonna know inside like this came a little bit too quick. We gonna be like, oh, I'm kind of not ready to interview guests like this, like, you know, yet. and it's going to be like, so we kind of want it to be like, when we like a little bit, we kind of wanted to take them on, because so we can gain that experience and gain that trust from our audience. And I don't know, man, patience, bro. Patience.
Yeah. No, that's it. No, it's completely true what you said. And like I said, I think as well, it's patience, trusting the process, and just reminding ourselves of that, because
Right.
I think like the society we live in, you know, we talked about it previously, I think Amazon Prime, you know, Netflix, it's all instant gratification. You can have things straight away. And growing up, you know, like the first 7 years of your life programs your subconscious mind. And if in that early period of your life, you're having things given to you and things like that, because, you know, it happens growing up, you know, your parents buy you things and this kind of thing. I was the same. So you expect things straight away. And when you don't get it straight away, it causes that discomfort, that anxiety, and you want that instant gratification. And I think that delayed gratification is far more powerful, I find, than that instant, because like you said, you know, it's not a sprint, and it's a long process. and as well,
not sprinting, bro.
And it makes me think, like with you as well, you passed your driving test recently. And,
oh yeah, I did. Yes,
and it took me a couple of times. It took me, I think, 5 months, but you appreciate it much more in that time, because it's taken you so long to get it. Some people quicker than others, but it's true though, isn't it? You appreciate it more.
Right. You appreciate it more. That's a perfect point you got to. You appreciate it more. And we, as a people, we need to, you know, be the voice and talk to the upcoming generation, young kids, and when they grow up. And, you know, it's not, and we could probably move to spoiling, you know, not spoiling our kids, our future kids, or spoiling, you know, young kids, giving them everything, because that's going to trigger that, those thoughts in their minds to think, oh, I can, you know, handouts are okay. I could get everything handed to me. Things can come quick to me. All I had to do is just, you know, beg somebody to give me something. They, you know, we can't feed them that type of reality. We gotta start talking to them and be like, hey, if you want something, you work for it, you know, and it's going to take a process. It's not going to take a quick, it's not going to be super fast. And then we can start seeing people, like the young kids, grow up and recognize that. And then that's going to lead them to live a healthier lifestyle, because it's that fast food recipe type living lifestyle, man, is not going to get it. And if you, like I said, if you do get it that way, you're not going to feel fulfilled. Like you just said, you're not going to feel, I'm telling you, you're not. And that's one thing about viral content on TikTok or viral content on any platform. How, you know how like someone can post a random video and they think it's just a random video, then it's just blow up and the world. And then E-News know when they got you on TV. I bet those people, they went straight from nothing. I won't say nothing. Everybody means something. Went from like no clout to all the way high clout.
Yeah.
I wonder how they feel at that moment. Like they might feel, oh, whoa, that's crazy. But it's like, it's also, I don't know, like, is this even real? Like, this don't even feel real, you know? And it doesn't. When you get things quick, it's not real.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think as well, like with that, if it was me and that happened, I would, you know, still be humble and to take note of, you know, where I am, and, you know, being kind of grateful for where you are, so you kind of don't lose your head, isn't it? Because you see it happen with a lot of, I mean, not all people, but some famous people, you know, they have too much all of a sudden and they just blow up. You know, like Macaulay Culkin, you know, Home Alone, like he had far too much all at once, and a lot of other people out there. And it's kind of like that high, isn't it? Because you go up, you know, on a high, and then, you know, you might be out of the spotlight for a while, or you might have #1 bestseller book or #1 podcast, and then when you go down to you know, number 10 or number 15,
right,
you know, there's those lows because you had that high from being at the top, but kind of you know, you're probably kind of not meant to stay there sometimes. It's that a bit like the market, isn't it? But like stocks, you know, there's those ups and there's those ups and down scales. And I think, you know, but things do take time, and I think it does make you appreciate things more, and it puts things into perspective as well.
Right. I like how you made that analogy. The stock market, it's ups and downs. It's life is like ups and downs. Not everything. And that's one mindset a lot of people messed up with. They think life's supposed to just keep going like that, and it's not. It's going to be a lot of downs, and those downs are what prepare you for the next up. Like every down gets you ready for the next up, and every up gets you ready for the next down. So you gotta understand that there's going to be ups and downs. But that's, like we said, that's the beauty of life. Without failures and without low moments and without moments where you're not getting attention on, like without those moments, you're not going to really recognize what success is. And if you only been fed your whole life and given money and given this and given that and given popularity and given all, if you only been handed out everything, you're like, you won't even feel like a real human being, because you're not living like a real human. You're not getting it the tough way. And that's really powerful, bro. Really powerful.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, and it makes me think about relationships as well. Because I think some people, like having a relationship with somebody, like a partner, or you're dating, for example, it takes time. It takes time, and like you're getting to know that person. You're getting to know yourself, and I think a lot of people, not all people, sometimes they'll just jump into those kind of quick relationships too soon, or those kind of like they just kind of want things casual because they don't want to commit, because they don't want to put in that time. They probably have, everyone's got their own insecurities, but to go into those insecurities and to get to know yourself and to go on that takes time and energy and effort. And I think a lot of the time people don't want to do that, so they hop in for the quick fix because of whatever happened in the past. And it takes time. And I think, in that relationship, if you grow it and things work out over time, you then appreciate it. Whereas, and I think that's something people, need to think about. I mean, that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah. I think with relationships, I'm currently not in a relationship with anybody, but I think one of the reasons why a lot of people relationships are not like, as good as and as strong as it should be, is because they are not my opinion is, before you get in a relationship, you need to make sure that you are in a good relationship with yourself. Before you get in a relationship with anyone else, you need to make sure that you are treating yourself correctly, right? And you're keeping yourself up correctly, because if you can't treat yourself right, then how can you be able to have the responsibility to treat someone else or add someone else to your life? So people can avoid all them conflicts and all those issues with a relationship. They can avoid all of that if they just make sure at the beginning they know how to take care and responsibly take care of themselves correctly before trying to add another female or male to their their life. And because there's a lot of relationships, especially with this COVID-19 going around, and everybody got to stay at home. And when you're talking about marital status, when you see husbands and wives for the first time in a while, staying with each other in a household for a long period of time. Before COVID, they were at work, many of them were at work, and now they got to be forced at home. You see a lot of I see a lot of divorce rates and all that now. So it's bad. Like, yeah.
It's
you gotta.
No, I agree. And I think like it's a funny situation at the minute, isn't it? Like, like people at home, and people sometimes, they don't actually know that person fully that they're in a relationship with, and they're kind of starting to see things in this time because they may be with them more, and like stress and certain things happening in the world can put pressures on people. And I think like this kind of moment in time is either like a make or break in some aspect, because there's a lot of challenges, and you will either become stronger through it, I think, or you kind of both go either way. I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but I think, like you said, it's people have to get to know themselves, and the relationship with themselves has to be good to then mirror that with someone else, because if you're a certain way in yourself, or you're trying to be like something, that's gonna that energy is going to wear off over time, because you've got to be yourself.
Yep. Right.
I was thinking as well, like before we start the podcast, we're talking about jobs and how, you know, like life is going to throw obstacles at you. Life is going to throw waves at you. And we're saying like sometimes we need to do something for X amount of time to know that we're building something internally in the long game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, one thing that I talk to a lot of people about, like, is we can't predict what's going to happen, like with so many jobs and how they're, what if they're going to lay you off or they're going to keep you. Sometimes, it's a shaky business with that. And, like you're saying, you got to prepare yourself. You got to, sometimes you have to reach outside of the box, and sometimes you got to, start a brand or start something so that you can have, I guess, leverage behind you. So if anything happened, you could, have a nice transition to something that you've been working on for a while, crafting up behind, in the back hours. And like what had just happened to you, and like before the podcast, like what I said, I'm sorry about what happened at the unemployment. You got something now as you're working on this podcast that you're building, and you're now able to, transition over here, and now you got more time. And what's crazy? I was watching the Gary Vee clip, and I'm seeing a clip because he put out a clip. I don't know, you saw a post last night, and a girl asked, "What do you do when you lost a job during COVID?" And he gave like some pointers like what to do, and he actually said, go to LinkedIn and type a future letter of yourself and post it and say, one day I'm going to be doing this. One day I'm going to be doing, like, I want to be in this industry. One day I'm going to be in that industry. One day I'm going to be big, and post it on LinkedIn, and watch how maybe somebody in that industry would see that and give you a part-time job. So he says just try out cool stuff. And, it's sometimes we can't look at that as a disaster, but opportunity. Like that unemployment that you got, maybe most people might say, "Oh, I'm in my life now. It's over. I don't got a job." But no, don't look at a half glass empty. Look at a half glass filled. That's it. Half glass filled. And you gotta say, okay, there's an opportunity. Maybe maybe that was God pulling me away from a job that would have created so much stress and anxiety in my life. So now you can just focus on this podcast. And of course you gotta make money. So you gotta, try to get another job, but continue to work hard and try to build this podcast as much as possible. And while you applying for other jobs, you get another job, to save your money, save, and then that's going to elevate you. I promise you that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And I think, like, as well, it's how you kind of look at things, isn't it? Like, you can think to yourself, oh, well, I'm unemployed, blah, blah. And then sit back and wait, and wait for the world to kind of, fall at your feet. And that's not kind of how it works, is it? And I think you have to put in those steps. And I think it's those kind of like ripple effects. You throw a stone out into the water and it creates these ripples. And you have to put yourself out there, whilst doing, whatever it is that you're doing on the side. And it's always important to kind of have that. And that's going to keep your like momentum and that motivation going as well. Because you're not just sitting back, you're not just doing anything. And I think, like you said,
as human beings, we're not designed to just sit back and just wait till life hand us what we need. That's not human like, we are forces of nature that we got to go and seek and search and always doing something, have our blood running, always, searching for something. It's not just, we have become as a society, as a generation, so lazy. I think this generation has become so lazy because of the technological devices and social media platforms, which I'm not bringing those down because those are helpful to our society in many ways. But that has created a lazy mindset where we just want to just sit back and then point fingers, like I was telling earlier this episode, point fingers at people, at your parents or the government, I need a job, or I need this, you're supposed to be giving me this. That's not a credible human being type status. Even if you have a job, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket anyway. Because Warren Buffett was talking about that. You should never put you should have multiple. If you want to be really secure, either multiple jobs or have a job and also something else, you're starting to build businesses so that you can have multiple income coming in. It's not just depending your whole life on one little job, one little income. Because what happens when they get sliced off, you know? And you're going to be destitute of money for a while. So that's why I like what you're doing. You just keep building this, because for one day, the Parrsitivity Podcast, it's going to be it's going to be the joint. It's going to be and I like your music intro as well. I'm going to tell you about that. I like the intro to the. I see you've been customizing your stuff and all that. I like the intro. I like that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. It really means a lot. No, it really means a lot. It really, really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, the guy who did it, Guy Cohen, he's a really good guy, and I'll try and get him on your podcast. And he makes music. He's from I can't remember the state he's from, but I don't know.
In the US?
He's from the US originally, but he's living in Israel. He's in Israel now. He's really, really talented with his music. So I'll link you with him. But yeah, like I've just been experimenting with different things as well, and just trying new things. Like I had a bit of criticism and flack off a few people. I won't drop any names. And it just like I don't take it personally. You know, some things there's like positive criticism and then there's negativity.
Talk about it. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and I think like what we're doing, it's kind of the nature of the beast with the internet and social media, and I think it's important. Like, okay, it's like don't take it personally, don't doubt yourself. If you get comments or certain feedback, you know, it's kind of like dissecting it and what can you take from that if there is anything to take from it, and you know, to not stop posting things because someone else says, "Oh, I don't like it," or X, Y, Z. Because, and I think that's what discourages a lot of people, because sometimes you see people posting content that they stop because one person said something about them, but it makes you feel sorry for that person if they're going to that place for, you know, for whatever reason.
Wow. You know, man, that's a deep type of context I never really got into before. The opinions of other people, bro. First of all, like for all the Parrsitivity listeners, and if the TFP Nation, you're listening to this episode as well, the opinions of others, I want to say it's just completely don't matter, because I believe we should openly to take, you know, advice and constructive criticism. That's the type of criticism. But like when someone is just criticizing your content and criticizing what you're doing and bashing it and say, hey, you know, I don't like you for this. That's when if you allow that to get inside of you, if you allow that to, you know, penetrate you, you're going to slow down. You're going to start becoming stagnant, and you're going to start posting stuff that's not for you. I don't care what, you know, like Gary say, Sally Sue or John Parker says about my how I create my content. You know, it's for me. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it for the people who care about that. It's not for you. Then if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Don't watch it. And to be a person that wastes your time to, you know, criticize someone else's stuff, to be a person that goes to someone's page and just leave harassed comments, you have to be a broken person, because your time must not be valuable. You must don't think time is valuable then to you. If you have the time to leave negative comments on any post, I don't care, then you have just become I want to say wasteless. I want to be careful what I say, because everybody, I mean, even the nasty haters out there, they're valuable. You know, that's still the purpose for them. They just don't know what it is. And they just wasting their time on things that are just, you know, just toxic. Toxic, bro. If you have to, and we can talk about time. You have to spend your time on. You got to know what to put your time to and what to focus your time on, because like, if you see negative comments coming in your feed, you know, it's just be like, you know what? I don't care. They don't know me. So I have more empathy for that person because they don't fully even know me. You know, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, all right, I'm going to reply with this. I'm going to reply with that. You know, don't take that to heart, because they really don't even know you. If they knew, it would be worse if they knew who you are and they've been talking to you, and then they leave those comments because like, okay, now what are you doing? Like, okay, now I know you know who I am. And even if that happened, you know, you just like, I won't say cut them off, but just ignore. Sometimes the best thing to say is nothing. Sometimes the best thing to say is saying nothing, basically. And when you see that they don't give, when they see that you're not giving attention to what they're saying to you, that's gonna burn coal. It's gonna burn fire on their head, man, and it's gonna make them really mad, because just don't care, bro. Like, do you post your content? I don't know if you've been receiving any comments lately from anybody, but like, do you be yourself, build your brand, and if you got haters, just be like, hey, I'm enjoying it. As long as I'm enjoying that, I'm enjoying it, life is good.
No, I see it totally. And I think like it's kind of like part of the process. And I think you look at a lot of successful people out there and where they are, and the criticism and the comments that were made to them. I remember, I don't know what his name is, but the guy who founded FedEx, I think someone criticized his idea at school or something like that. And
bro, everybody would, like Bill Gates to Bezos to Zuckerberg to everybody that you can think of, that's Jobs, everybody you can think that done something great, and to Disney, Walt Disney. We talked about him, I think, in the other episode. People was thinking that dude was a clown, a lunatic for building cartoons. Like look what happened. Look what happened. And it's just I saw this quote that said, "Don't take constructive criticism from anybody who haven't constructed anything." If they haven't constructed anything, why are you taking constructive? Because they don't know that they haven't built anything. Why are you taking advice from somebody that haven't even built anything? So that's why I said, like, it's really important to who you allow yourself to give like energy, wasting time on, because you need your energy is way more valuable to be focusing on some bull crap from people who just saying stuff just to try to get a viral retweet or a viral reply from some other random avatar. It's just an avatar game. People should trying to put words in, hope someone can reply and screenshot it. It's just people want clout, people want attention, people would do anything for attention, and this is the world we live in. And it's sad that, and that's why so many people are not in a financial successful place they're in. I'm gonna let you speak to me. I'm sorry for taking over.
No, me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Got you.
No, continue. I'm listening.
It's sad. That's why so many people are finding themselves not in a financial successful place in life, or they're not in at a point they want to be at, or a point working to where they want to be at, because they're doing the wrong thing, man. And when you follow like what the world is doing, and you leave in comments, or you not working, you're wasting time, like we said, watching Netflix, or watching movies and eating popcorn and stuff, and just wasting time and stuff. You're not grinding. Then how can you expect to be like the 1%? How can you expect to be like the Elon Musk? How can you expect to be like them, man? And it's all, like Gary Vee says, it's all essential thing. Is everybody, you got to put in the work. You got to hold your head down. You got to save money. And I think that, I don't know, I want to ask you this, like, your thoughts, like, I know this podcast, but like, what are your thoughts about like saving money? Because I think that's a really thing we need to talk about real quick.
No, I agree. And in terms of saving money, I think a lot of it comes down to the fundamentals of like saving money. I think can come down to belief systems and people's mindset around money, because I don't think we're in the education system, we're not kind of taught on saving, taught about saving money. It's not briefed to us. So I think you have to kind of find it out yourself. You have to kind of go out into the world, work jobs, and learn yourself. Or if you've got certain parents who are good with money, they can then mentor you on how to be good with money. Whereas some of the times, certain people's parents aren't good with money, and people are around that, and they soak that up, especially at an early age, and they might take from that and go, oh, well, this is how life is. This is what we do with money. So it's like that book, I've never read it before. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's based on how people pick up on traits from their parents.
Traits,
but I think like for me personally, in the past, I wasted money because I was too busy on, wanting to get the nicest shirt or going out clubbing, buying the latest pair of trainers or video game. So there's a lot of temptation and distractions and things that make us feel good, when we buy them, and it can be addictive. But I think we have to be mindful and, of our money and our finances. And I think a lot of it comes down to mindset and in preserving what you have now and not telling yourself, oh, one day, or, it's like, oh, I can't spend this amount of money because of XYZ, or I'm never going to have this amount of money because of XYZ, or I'm not good enough to have XYZ. And I think that's a lot of the times why people who win the lottery, they win that money. And then I think a high percentage of the people spend that money because it's not aligned with their vision of themselves. I know that's a really, really long answer, but I think a lot of it is mindset.
All you just said, bro, it makes so much sense. I really like that a lot. Mindset. When a human being could, another thing is discipline as well. When a human being can discipline itself to try to, get that, have that mindset to, I don't need to sometimes, I don't need to be spending my money on XYZ because I'm trying to get to, ABC. I'm trying to get to there. I don't need to be spending my money on this right now. I think we're so in a short-term thinking mindset where we don't think long-term at all. I know sometimes it's not good to focus on the future. We should just focus on today, the present. But sometimes we have to, if you want to go somewhere in life, and especially for the young entrepreneurs right now watching, because me and Parrsitivity are entrepreneurs, and we started our show. If you want to build something, and if you want to grow something, you're trying to build a brand, you got to have money to invest to marketing. You got to have money to invest into getting better equipment. You got to have money to invest in, trying to hire people to do things. You got to have money to do that. How can you have money if you don't save it? How can you expect your money to save you in the future when you don't want to save it right now? And I just, that's something I just focus on. It's like, do I really need this right now? Yes, I'm hungry. Do I really need to go to Burger King right now up the street and grab a burger and some French fries? Do I need that? No. Okay, great. You just save like $6-7. Okay, do I need those pair of tennis shoes right now, which is like $200 some? No, I don't. You used to save $200 some. Then you can invest that money that you saved into building your podcast or building your business. And for me, and this hitting me right now. That's why I want to talk about it, because my saving skills right now for the past like months have been, horrible. I would need to be the person taking this advice for myself, because I got too lazy. I got too relaxed with spending money, and I was just buying shoes and buying clothes and stuff. And now I'm in this place where I'm like, I'm not broke, but it's like, dang, I used to have a lot of money, and now I don't even really have up to a quarter percentage of that. And but now I'm working on that. Like as I speak, now it's like paid, I'm saving my checks and all that. And it's like we want things we want things so much. Like we want these expensive materials that are not going to do anything for us, but give us a little bit of attention, or give some wow, great, you got that? Oh, that's the only reward we're going to get. That's the most we're going to get. But other than that, you just went broke in your account. You went in triple debt buying that car, And it's crazy. Why do the human mind think that no one else, why do we think that when we buy something, and I'm not saying don't buy nothing, because one day I do want to have a Lamborghini. I do want to have a mission. I do want to have these great things, but it's not about optimizing your life around that, because it's just it's going to rot. It's going to rust one day. It's going to go away. It's not going to be here forever. And the real thing that we need to be investing our money into is building our purposes, or building our passion, building our mission, continue to go and follow that direction. Because man, like I said, I'm trying to build a tea business basically. But and I already registered an LLC for a herbal tea business.
Nice.
Thanks, man. And I haven't started. I'm working on a website right now, but I haven't started selling because I don't have the units yet. I'm doing private labeling with a manufacturer.
Yeah.
And I gotta buy the units from the manufacturers to come to my house so I can sell it.
Yeah.
But it costs like almost $1,000. I don't have that right now, so I'm saving up for that. But if I would have saved my money from buying, I bought some $600 Jordans like earlier this year. If I would have saved that money, if I would have saved, I bought like actually 2 pairs. Like, I know it's crazy, but I bought like 2 pair of Jordans, not two $600 pair dollars, but like
I saw them on your Instagram story, and I was like, "Whoo!"
That's some nice shoes. It's great when you have. I had a lot of money at the moment. It's like when you have a lot of money, you just want to spend it,
Yeah.
And yeah, if I would have saved that, looking at, hindsight is 2020 always. So when looking back, if I would have saved that, I could be now selling units, to people and stuff. So
yeah. No, I agree with you, and I think what it kind of comes down to is like life lessons and experience, and I think
yes,
you can't buy that, like experience. You have to kind of go into it, and I'm in an okay, situation, but like I said, I'm not broke, but I'm, like I said, it's similar to you, and I've had money in the past, and I think when I left school, you do these jobs and you see you got all this money, and you're working for like a couple of months, you save up a bit, and you want to buy a nice jumper or nice shoes, and I think like a lot of the time it can be addictive because it feels good when you buy that, but that kind of temporarily, when you buy something, and I think a lot of the time we appeal to the masses. Look at me, I've got this and X, Y, Z. Like I remember recently I bought like a Supreme shirt. Supreme.
The Supreme, yeah, really.
I bought like a very kind of limited edition stock and all that. So I bought a T-shirt, and it's during like the past lockdown recently, and it made me think a lot in this time, because all these things that we bought or the things that we buy, you can't really use it because you can't go anywhere to show it anyone. Are you really happy with those things that you've got? And I think a lot of the time it can be a habit, and it's people that kind of need to preserve what they've got and kind of, like you said, grow that and think long term of like I said, wanting to invest in yourself or the business. And I think you have to kind of go to that place sometimes to then wait, kind of to realize that. And
right,
I do now. Like, sorry,
yeah.
Like, do I need this or do I want it?
Right. It's what's crazy when you say you can't buy experiences. That's a quote I'm gonna keep that's going. You can't buy experiences. You have to go through them to figure out like what you have to go through those things. It's the same when you're trying to preach health is wealth. Man, I'm trying to preach to many people health is wealth. You try to make sure you eat in moderation. Make sure you, I'm not saying cut out fast food, but eat healthy majority of the time, and treat yourself like once or something a week. But when you see people eating often bad crap, and just putting out on chemicals and preservatives in their body, it's like sometimes you got to sit back and be like, what, I hate for this to happen to you, but you might have to go through the experience of dealing with diabetes or, liver problem or kidney problems.
Yeah.
And then that experience, hopefully, because some people it don't teach, but hopefully that experience in the hospital or that experience being sick, or you have to go through food poisoning. Hopefully that experience, because I just went through food poisoning, bro, episode like 3 days ago. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad, bro. I don't know what I ate, but bro, I felt like that's another stuff for another day.
Yeah.
Hopefully sadly you have to go through episodes like that for you to open your eyes up and be like, okay, now what he was saying the whole time, health is wealth. I gotta eat better. I gotta eat more natural garden foods. I gotta eat better. Sometimes it takes people to go through don't and it's sad you gotta wait till someone be on the edge of their life before they have to change their whole life around. And
Yeah.
People don't want to listen to that. People don't want to listen to it happens to them. They don't want to listen to it happens. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how sometimes life's like that. Like certain catalysts can kind of happen. You know, life events can happen that make people just realize and change their mindset. And
Yes.
I mean, I won't go like too much on about it, but it's like, you know, I think I told you about my experience, and I said it quite a bit. You know, I had to fall through a kind of a roof. I had to fall through a skylight to, you know, think about my life and what I was doing. Because I think if I hadn't have done that and that hadn't have happened, you know, I don't know what would have happened. I probably would have got involved.
I'm sorry. You said what happened? You said you fell.
Like
what happened?
Like when I was like 13, I fell through a skylight on a roof, like a glass panel on a roof.
Oh. How did that happen?
I was messing around with friends, and we was on a roof on a building, just kind of doing like free running and jumping around,
jumping like parkour type stuff.
Yeah, and just messing around because I was bored during the summer holidays. And then I stood on this glass panel, and the girl I was with at the time went to the shop, and I was looking around, and it just popped, and I fell through, and and I fell about 15 feet, and I cut my arm open, and from that I had, you know, PTSD, anxiety, and depression, you know, from that event, you know, months after that for a couple of years. But from that event, what I'm saying is, you know, that event was like a catalyst because it made me reevaluate what I was doing in my life, and, you know, the people I was hanging around with, you know, my mindset around that time, you know, and I changed. And, you know, and the mental health side of things, you know, made me change as well, and things like that. But I'm saying like that, so that's an experience as an example, and that changed the way I think and the way I look at life. And I probably wouldn't be doing this now if it wasn't for that. And like, you know, like with food poisoning and whatever situation people find themselves in, whether that's a car crash, whether that's, you know, a relationship breakup, or, you know, this time now where a lot of people experience anxiety and many different things, these are all experiences, aren't they, that kind of, you know, shape us to some degree, and they can kind of, you know, change your mindset around things. So I think, you know, like, and that food poisoning example makes you think about your health and what you're going to eat and what you're not going to eat.
Right. And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about what happened with you falling through the skylight.
No,
yeah, because that could have been your life at the moment, and it could have ended off differently. The food poisoning thing, right? What you're talking about. I don't know what I ate. I think I know what I ate. I think I ate something from my school, and it's just, which I'm done eating from there. It's the food is not the best. but it made me feel like, bro, it literally made me feel like I'm just really going to exit the earth. It's going to take me away from here. it felt like that. And I'm glad, thank God, that I'm still alive and stuff like that, because I was like just regurgitating, bro, constantly. And I feel like I'm about to regurgitate my organs. I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah. But thank God I'm better and I'm healthy now. And it's better now. Yeah, you gotta watch what you eat, bro. Some of those foods, bro, are not good for you, man. It's not.
Yeah, me and my friend flew back from New York January this year. I think it was January this year or last year. And my friend had really bad, shouldn't lie. He had food poisoning. So I'm not laughing at the fact he had food poisoning. I'm laughing at the fact of how the salad looked. I remember the salad. It was like cabbage that was like vac packed, and they gave it to us. And I don't think I ate mine, but he ate his food, and he had like food poisoning, I think. And it's so dangerous. It's easy as that, like eating something and not thinking.
He had wait. So he had a salad. So you don't think that's healthy?
It was like a salad or something. It was like a cabbage, and then we had like some bits of meat or chicken, and then these yogurts, and it was on the plane. But you just don't know how long that thing's been wrapped in that container.
It's hard because I bet your friend. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get off that, but I bet your friend probably thought that was healthy, or this is a good meal, healthy meal I can eat. But now look what happened. Like, it's that goes to show that some of the healthy things you think are healthy are just not healthy. It's like you gotta make sure you know what you're eating, because that's why I try to cut down my I don't cut out fast food. I still eat fast food, but I cut heavily. Yes, I cut heavily the amount of it I eat, big time. Like probably once every 2 weeks, something like that. But when you're eating food, you really want to know where is it coming from, how long it's been on the shelf, how long it's been wrapped up, what is it coming from?
Yeah, no, it's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. Like my family are vegetarian and vegan, well, they're pretty much vegan really, and I think I'm kind of going towards like being a vegetarian, really.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'll see how it pans out, because I might be eating meat next week. But
yeah, I'll talk to you next. I'll talk to you about it, because I'm not vegetarian. I think meat is essential protein, just so you get your natural protein from. Some people can say meat is evil. Meat is not good for your body, but I think I differ from that, because I read the Bible, and from the beginning, God said, he gave all the animals as food for us, and every beast in the field is food for us, and he gave us meat. So I don't think meat is bad for you. I think people just think it's just been a notion that's been going around for however long, that if you eat meat, then you're just going to get sick. But meat is not. And people think that killing an animal, and we don't have to get into all this, but killing an animal and eating their meat is just gross. But it's not, man. It's meat is meat is clean and it's good for your body. Give your natural source of protein. And protein is really essential for life. So I personally differ from cutting out meat. I wouldn't do that for me. Not for you. I'm not. But for me, I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
It's something I've been thinking about, but I mean, I'm going to see, how I feel, because I woke up today and I was like, I could just have a sausage sandwich for breakfast.
Right.
So I mean, you got to go with yourself, haven't you, and what you want, I think, and not appeal to whatever. Just jump on it because other people aren't. It's a very kind of big, widespread kind of topic, isn't it? Because a lot of people have got their opinions on what's right and all the rest of it. I think you have to do what's right for you, don't you? You have to do ultimately what's right for you, regardless.
I'm sorry for.
No.
I gotta work on that. I don't know if you can watch my stuff, but I got a habit of interrupting. I got to do better with that.
No. I'll start calling you Gary V. No, I'm joking.
He do interrupt a lot.
No, I'm listening.
So what I'm going to say, I saw this piece of content on social media the other day, and it showed like 6 different men in a cave. Like, it was a cartoon drawing of men in a cave walking, and it showed like this one man holding a sign, and it was like yellow and had like a drawn out sun on a sign. So it had like 7 men walking the direction of the leader holding a sign, they were all thinking that's a sun. But the one man in the back actually got a sneak peek of outside the cave and actually saw the real sun and turned around. So it was saying like, so the basic meaning of that whole, drawing was like, don't follow the crowd. Don't think it's right, even if 99% of people are doing it. If it's wrong, it's wrong, So majority of them was going that way with the fake sun, thinking it's right. Everybody's going that way, but just because everybody doing it doesn't mean that's correct. So it's like what you just said, like following what everybody say about don't eat meat, And for me, that doesn't mean I'm correct about not taking meat out of your diet. But and then you go to like what's right and what's wrong, because now everybody like what is right and what's wrong. It's like, I think, like you said, I think it's best for you. I think it's best for you. It's best for you. It's not right or wrong. What's best for you?
Yeah, no, that's it. And that's like when if I post content or things like that, it's like I will say, this is my opinion. I'm not saying like, like, I think that's important as well, isn't it? You're like what we're doing now is our opinions and things like that. And it's like people can take those bits that they want from it. We're not saying this is the way you need to be and this is how it is. Because that happens a lot, and you're like, well, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, but it's it's the world we live in. Unfortunately, people are going to have an opinion and go, "Oh yeah, but X, Y, Z." And you see it with Joe Rogan when he was on Spotify. They were trying to say like, "Oh, he's the people who work for Spotify, kicked off because he had a guest on who said something." You're like, really? That's their opinion, So
yeah.
But I think you've got to stay in your lane, haven't you? And you just got to do that.
Yes, sir. You got to stay in your lane, bro. You have to stay in. And like you said, it's not about saying, do this. Make sure you do it. That's not what you do in life. That's not how you get someone to, you don't stab them until they do it. You gotta, I think the best way to show someone what's right is by you practicing, by you living correctly, and letting them see from their lenses, oh, look at this person. They're consistent with doing this. This must be the right way to go. And yeah, you don't force feed people to do stuff. If they don't want it, they're not going to do it. Yeah.
And I think as well with that, you kind of got to walk your talk, haven't you? Like, don't if you're talking about say exercise or your diet, say, I think you should probably do this because this is what works for me. And sometimes people will say, oh, well, you've got to do this, but they're not even doing what they're telling people to do. But
a lot of people, yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people giving out commands and talking, and they just heavy hypocrite at scale, hypocritical, and they're not even doing it. That's what I don't like about some people. They say this and that. That's why I haven't really been talking about health lately, because I got to get myself better. Before I keep talking about telling people eat healthy, I'm not really 100% where I used to be eating healthy. So I got to get myself back on the road before I can start feeling more comfortable to make content about that. Because I don't want to be a hypocrite, bro. I don't want to say eat healthy. You see me the next day eating some Domino's pizza, and it's like, wait, what? Didn't you
Yeah. Stop spending money, save money. Oh, you got a new car last week? No. Yeah, no, it's it. It's that you got to be real to yourself, and no, I agree, and we're all learning. Do you know what I mean? We're all learning. We're all in our own journey, and I think as long as we're gaining that awareness around it and self-awareness, we can then start putting in those steps. But I think there's nothing wrong with eating like ice cream or certain things. In the week.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I had this weekend. I'll have a bit of chocolate and I'll have some crisps, or you call them potato chips, and I'll play video games for a little bit. But I don't do that every day. I don't do that every day.
Dude, and you shouldn't feel bad when you do that. That's the thing. We beat ourselves. We judge ourselves too much. Oh, I just ate this. I ate some ice cream. I ate some cookies or a honey bun. Oh, I feel like a piece of crap. Don't beat yourself up, man. There's a lot of people out there already criticizing you. Why would you add yourself against yourself? Why would you be against yourself? And that's why I preach moderation, because and plus, what is life if you can't have some fun food? What is life like? Fun food tastes good. It tastes heavily good. Like, why not? It's like you don't want to live your life so strict on yourself and so strict from doing that. So strict, moderation, bro. Moderation is the word. So I appreciate it so much, because if you can balance yourself, like you walking on a balance beam. If you can balance, don't be too much on this side, you go fall down. Don't be too much on this side, you go fall down. If you can balance yourself, bro, just like social media. If you balance yourself, don't be on social media for, statistic came out 12 hours a day for people. If you can balance yourself, yeah, it's crazy. If you can balance yourself to not be on social media that long and just peek in sometimes, then do work, peek in, see what's up, update. Some people, bro, are just like, just all day.
Yeah.
And it's,
Have you watched the Social Dilemma documentary?
No, I saw it. I heard that on Joe Rogan. Somebody was talking about. I think one of the people who created the movie was talking about what they were trying to do with that. But I need to watch it. Is it really going to touch me?
It's pretty powerful. It basically they get chief execs and people who worked. I don't know if the chief execs, but they get people who were high up in the company's social media, and they talk about their experiences and how the algorithms work and how the system knows what you like. I won't get too much into it, but really interesting. But it makes you think about it more. And I think there's nothing wrong with social media at all. Social media is an amazing platform, but it's as we said before, how you use it.
How you use it, yes.
Yeah, and if I post, say, we use social media for our podcasts and our content.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do, in my opinion, I'll make the content, I'll put it on there, do what I need to do, come off it. And it's trying to be mindful of the things that you're looking at, because sometimes you get sidetracked by a funny video or someone sends you something. And then you look at it for 20 minutes and you're like, shit, where's that time gone? It's 12:30 whatever now. I've just spent 20 minutes looking at what?
That's that ditch we get ourselves into, because like I said, like you just said, social media is how you use it. It's a tool. Social media is a tool, and it's for the benefit of you. It could be for the benefit or for you, or it could be for the disaster of you. It's like, if you, like for us, we post, you see me, you do podcast content. I create content too and put on there on YouTube. When I use it for that, and then I might, stay on a little bit longer to see if I'm getting engagement, but then I get right off. But when I find myself looking at like a model or something, a swim model, I'm like, oh crap. Then I just start looking at pictures. Then next thing you know, I look at my watch, and it's like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wasted time. And you feel like crap when you do that. You feel like
because I had it, and they got the reels now, and they're highly addictive, a bit like TikTok. and there was something I needed to do. And there was a reel of some woman doing like a pole dancing thing for 15 seconds. And I was like, and then after, when it finished, I was like, what did I need to do? I completely got what? And I sat there for like 10 minutes, like trying to think, what is it I had to do? And
yep. That's how I do, man.
And
it brainwash you, bro. It brainwash you big time.
It's quite scary. And I think
it is. Yeah.
It's trying to be mindful of that. Like since I watched that documentary, I turned notifications off on Instagram.
You think I should do that? Do you think that would be helpful for me?
I
get caught up in that too sometimes.
I think it's helped me. In my opinion, it's helped me, because it's not saying, oh, so and so posted this. So you're not going to get drawn into things. So I'd say turn off notifications if you are getting sucked into things. I kept notifications on LinkedIn and WhatsApp. That's pretty much it. The messenger.
Yeah, bro. That colorful app, the Instagram app, bro, can get you, bro. Once you see that with that notification, it makes you just want to keep looking. Okay, stay in. What's happening? It's like some people use social media just to stalk other people's lives the whole day. They scroll. It's
crazy.
Then they go get some fast food. They go eat. They feel like crap. Then their brain, when you eat fast food, your brain gets tired. It makes you get tired, and you get tired and sluggish. I'm gonna take a nap. You sleep for 5 hours. You get back up. You get back on social media. It's like a zombie, bro. You turn on Netflix, and then nighttime fall, and then you eat something else, a frozen dinner. Then you go to sleep. Then you wake up late. Then you wake up to see what happened overnight, bro. It's a cycle, bro. It's a cycle that we're so unconscious to. We're so unconscious too. It's a cycle of you just doing the same thing over and over. You're going to be at a point in your life where you 30, 50 some years old, and you're like, whoa, like what?
Yeah.
How old am I?
What just happened?
And then people and then you got people looking at you with mean stares, and like you're sad, like you should be ashamed of yourself. And you could be like, which you shouldn't take their opinions, but you're going to be like, I have wasted my life. Wasted my life on. It's not over. If you're 50 and you in a stuck place, and you become, if you're 50 and you're now coming to enlightenment, then you always got a chance of now try to do better. It's gonna be harder. It can be harder at 50 to grow something that you could have done at 20 because of the baggage behind you. But with your family and probably all that, but you can still, it's never late. Like I'm not, when I said that, I didn't mean to say, oh, if you're 50 and you waste your life, I'm not trying to say it's over. If you're watching this, it's not over. You still got an opportunity to just change, but social media, you still have to say the cycle, doing the same thing over and over every day, 7 days a week. And TikTok, bro, TikTok, I deleted the app completely. I haven't got the app, since a long time. Bro, I think TikTok is really, I think it's really dangerous for the teens, and I think it's really dangerous for people in person and just reality, because it's so addictive, bro. The addictive scale, like if you want to put social media apps on a certain addictive scale, if you was to rate it from 1 to be the least addictive and 10 to be the most addictive, if you put Instagram and Snapchat and every app into that addictive scale, I think TikTok would be number 10. I would say 10 because the views you get on, if you post a video, it's like the views go like that. The views come like that way faster than on Instagram. So it makes you want to continue to stay on it. Oh, how many more views I can get? How many more views? You turn it off a little bit, get back on it. And it's like you constantly trying to make content that will compare to someone else's content that may like it's really dangerous. TikTok is, I think personally, it's really dangerous. I think so.
I think it's even more dangerous when you see things in the news where people blow up from TikTok. So people then start trying to do that as well, jumping on the bandwagon, like that dog face guy. Like he did a great video, and like kudos to him. I got nothing against his video. I think it's great, and I think it's a cool video.
You're talking about the guy with the drinking
the ocean spray.
It started from the guy that was skateboarding. He was drinking ocean spray, skateboarding,
and
right?
then
It's him.
And then it blew up, yeah. And the CEO of Ocean Spray bought him a truck and bought him loads of ocean spray. In the second video, they deliver a brand new massive like Hummer or something, like a Dodge truck full of ocean spray in the back, and took it to his trailer where he lived, and like gave him the keys.
Dang. Hey, that's a blessing to buy him I mean, the ocean spray is a lot of drink for him. I mean,
yeah.
But hey, when I look at something like that, like I said early in this episode, when we first got on with the viral content stuff, yeah, that was, I wonder how that guy felt. And that when I was talking about that, that's what I was referring to. I didn't say his name, but I was referring to that guy. I wonder how he felt when he bounced from that one day doing that, thinking it's just a cool video. Then now everybody's seeing it, and then owning the company actually, see it gets to them, and they reach out to him. That's, I mean, kudos on his part, because like now he's getting notoriety and stuff, but it should also feel to him like, I got famous off of drinking. I got famous off of skateboarding and drinking a drink. Like, it's like,
yeah, it's crazy. But I think like I think he probably works a normal job, and I think some people sometimes they handle it well. They know where they're at. They're working a job. They it's benefited them, and they haven't lost their head. I think it's kind of that very fine line, like you said, that trapeze, that tightrope where, if people's egos get too big or ahead of them, then they'll end up losing their head. And I remember Joe Rogan talking about it in the podcast, and he said, he takes psychedelics, and he said he took a certain psychedelic, and he went to this state, and he saw himself in wearing those Joker hats or something. And then there was cursing at him, and he said that was like his ego keeping him in place, keeping him in check, because he got the Spotify deal and he was getting loads of money and things like this. And he said like it was kind of his ego keeping him in line. And I think it's kind of that fine line, isn't it? If something does pop up or something does blow up, with a podcast or a video, being quite humble with where you're at in what's happening, so you don't lose your head, that kind of thing. Get caught up in that whirl, because you can.
Yeah, you can really big time if you don't recognize the moment, you recognize that you're still a human being. You're not some type of robot. If you can just recognize that you're still a human being and that you're still a regular person, you can handle viral stuff like that. But like if you just go with the flow and go with like the comments and go with what everybody is thinking you are, and you just go off the rocker, it's dangerous for you, because that means that you would do anything, whatever the crowd is saying about you. If they say you suck, you could believe that, because you're just going whatever the crowd says, whatever they want you to do. And you gotta stay in that center circle. You gotta stay stuck in that, like you said, you got to stay level headed and stuff like that, because it could really viral stuff can really mess you up big time. And I don't know if I told you this before, but NF, NF.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was 2018 when he dropped Perception, the album, and that was his first album that really kind of got the headlights. Like everybody, everybody, oh, enough, enough, enough. And it was this one song, the single. I don't know if you know it. I'm seeing you know it. Do you know the single he had that kind of it's on radio? It's it's everywhere. You probably don't know it. You probably don't know it.
Is it the one where he's talking about getting a job?
No, it's not.
When
that
I grow
one.
up, wasn't that when I grow up?
Not. No, because that was on that's on The Search. That's on his latest project, The Search. Yeah. It was Let You Down. Sorry that I let you down. Yeah, that song. It went massive. Like it's on radio. It's in my university. They was playing it. Like it's like I'm like, whoa! I never heard it enough like out there. And he said the reason why I'm saying this is because he said one day he used to dream. He used to dream of being like having a sold out song or having sold out concerts, having sold out this and that. And he finally that year, the 2018, he became a millionaire and he like sold out everything. His dream literally came to life that year. And guess what he said? That was his most darkest and depressing years. That year, the year that he blew up, the year that he became viral. You want to say was the year that he was kind of suicidal and he was like, oh God, his mental health like plummeted big time. And let me ask you this: why do you think, like, from you hearing this, what do you think? Why do you think that was the case? Why do you think that he felt like that year? The year that everything came is the year that he felt really low with it, like with himself.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's really deep.
I think he might have experienced that because, like I said, it might go back to people's, self-image. Their perception, themselves possibly. I'm just tapping into it. So, like, yeah, I think it might be down to people's perception of themselves. They might not feel. Because I think when something like that happens, you're getting a lot of eyes on you, and that can make you feel intimidated. Probably vulnerable.
It's so much pressure on you right there. Like that's why I'm not ready for this podcast to go to like Joe Rogan, like millions of views. I'm not ready for that because right now I'm still trying to get stable with myself. And after I have that many people hitting me up, DM, hey, when the next show, when the next thing, and then like just sponsors from everywhere coming, contacting my email, and I just get like all this attention. Yeah, to an outside view, they'll be like they'll look like, bro, you have to make some money. But inside with me, it would be like, that's too much for me to handle right now. I'm a young kid just trying to grow and have fun with people. And now I'm getting all this pressure. Oh, do you want to make this decision, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, golly. So I think at the moment, it was an overhead of just pressure. His concerts was just too many people screaming his name. And he was like, his childhood.
You can't breathe.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I need to go. And he said he had to go to a therapy. He had to get a therapist in like that year because he was like, he was mentally fatigued big time. Yeah. And it makes me think I freaking love enough, bro. I freaking love enough. That's why I rock his merch, man, because he said in one of his songs, he was like, he said, it was Nate, the song called Nate. I don't know if you listened to it, where he basically talking to his younger self and telling him what's going to happen throughout life. Hey, like at 23, you would drop an album. At 24, you do this. Basically talking about that. So he said at 25, you'll make millions, but it's going to be really sad because you will know that that money is not going to really make you happy at all. And I'm like, dang. And it hit it right there. He said you make millions and it's really sad because you'll realize that it doesn't make you happy at all. I'm like, that means he wasn't happy with that money. And, he said that when you recognize, in his song, he said, when you recognize that every idea that you try to go to or trying to make it successful, that's not going to lead you to freedom. It's going to make you want to do something else to try to find what else could I do to try to get me to freedom. And it's like you continually trying to chase these ideas that never bring you to that one spot you're going to be. And it's deep. That song is deep. And it's like that nips it in that bud right there. Money money, success, the views from people, clout does not make you happy, bro. It's you think the Kim Kardashian, you think the artists out there, you think these people who are rich and like wealthy, and we just think that have all the world's attention, they put out a video and they get like millions of views. And like, I look at Justin Bieber, he put out a video, he got like a million views in like 5 minutes. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And it's like, you think all those like, oh, and Justin Bieber came out. You know Justin Bieber, correct?
Yeah.
Justin Bieber came out lately, and he was talking about, he made a song called Lonely. I don't know if you listened to it. Basically, he was saying about how as a young kid, he got famous really early. Like at 13, he started to explode. He said he really was really lonely, and like it really wasn't. I'm sorry if you hear Siri.
No, I'm missing. Okay.
My laptop, my Siri. I have Siri on my laptop. I keep coming up. I'm sorry, but
no, I can't hear it.
Okay. He said at a young age, at a young age, he really wasn't feeling like happy at all because it was so much pressure on him. And basically, what I'm trying to say, make a long story short, is we think that's the gate. We think fame is what we want to get, but it's going to make you the most probably depressed in your life. Because don't you want to be low key? Don't it feel good to be low key? And it's, I don't know, man.
I think with it, I think with fame, and I think with stardom, and I think with that peak, I think like it's how you handle it, and I think it's how you keep yourself in line. Like I think if you're doing something that you love and enjoy, then you get famous. That's kind of like probably comes with it, If you're good at something and it pops off, then great. But I think that the fundamental side of it is, how you deal with that, because you're going to have publicity, you're going to probably have interviews, you're probably going to have managers, you're going to have fans, you're going to have people emailing you. Like, you think of how many emails Joe Rogan gets to be on his podcast, and what the requests are, and how do you you've got to have some way of dealing with the backside of it. You think of Gary Vee, he goes to the shop, people run up to him and they want a picture and things like that. And there's got to be a cutoff point of how you kind of deal with it and how you're balanced with it. I think the family, for me, if something popped off and I was famous, family time, I'm with my family. Don't come up wanting something if I'm having a meal with my family, that kind of thing. You have to kind of, I think people have to put themselves in the other person's shoes and respect their privacy and their time and that kind of thing. And I think, I'm trying to think of who else. Like, look at,
Kevin Hart. You know who Kevin Hart is?
Yeah, Kevin Hart,
the comedian.
When he blew up, like, I saw a video documentary, and he went to buy his DVD, and the people didn't recognize him. And
one other thing is that some people, he was in a restaurant before with his family, right? And he said I think he was on Joe Rogan podcast a couple of times, and he was in a restaurant, and he went to the restroom, and he was using a restroom, and someone was literally by the people was crowding, by the stalls, like how you lock the door and stuff like that. They were and like knocking, asking him, can he hurry up and take a pic? Like, I'm like, you like you got like, is it that important to like? It just shows how needy these fans be. They like, you want privacy when you use a restroom. You want privacy by yourself and enjoy using the restroom. You don't want someone knocking and asking you and trying to take pictures with you. He had people waiting by the restroom door for him to come out. It's like, what in the world? It's like that's something I wouldn't want, bro. It's something I would, even no telling how big I get. I wouldn't want to experience stuff like that, bro.
No. I bring up a point like in relation to that, because like Gordon Ramsay, where I live, he's bought a house. He's got a few houses where I live.
Oh, cool.
And in Cornwall in the UK. And I saw him in the shop, like, no lie, like a couple of months back, I saw him in the local small shop, like deli. And I kind of felt really confident in myself. And then I kind of felt really nervous and like, oh my God, it's, Gordon Ramsay. should I say hello? Should I approach him? Should I say what? I had some crazy thoughts and ideas like, oh, should I ask him if he wants to be on the podcast? And I was just like, no, just don't be an idiot. And imagine that.
That's how it happens, bro.
Yeah. But I had all these thoughts racing through my head, and then I came to, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, just leave him. He, respect his privacy. Would I want some guy coming up to me when I'm in the shop trying to get some groceries? And I just kind of I just left him to it. And when I left to go to my car, we walked out at the same time, coincidentally, and he just said hello. And I said, oh, hello. And that was it. And,
oh, man.
And that was it. I just said hello. He said hello. That was it. And I felt better because I was like, do you know what I mean? Especially during a pandemic and that kind of thing. Do you want some other person who you don't know coming into your space and this kind of thing? So I think you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes and kind of how
before you do something. Yeah.
And how you deal with that. But I think you just got to shut yourself off from certain things. Like Joe Rogan said, he doesn't go on Twitter. You don't engage in certain things that are going to affect your mental health, like lots of comments and reading what people are saying. So you've got to have that way of dealing with it, I think.
Right, bro. Right. It's and kind of to wrap things up, that's something that I hope a lot of people, TLP Nation, if you listen to this episode and some of your people, Parrsitivity, the Parrsitivity people, please, the things we went over in this episode, number one, don't sit back. If the pandemic is pushing a lot of people out of jobs, people are searching for jobs, and the pandemic is creating a lot of unemployment right now. So try to create something, or try to, apply to multiple jobs so you can have multiple income coming in, so you can stay substantial during this period of time and just through life. Be creative. If you have an idea for something, this is the perfect time. I don't see why we shouldn't try to build something. Just try. One thing I meant to talk about, just try. It doesn't hurt to start an idea or to start something that the odds are always against us. The odds are always, but you never know what could happen. And just try to build, try to play the piano, and try to start a show that people can see you play the piano every day. That piano channel might blow up. You like playing drums, buy a drum set, do this beat every day, put it on YouTube. Just do something that you always thought that was pretty cool. Just do it so you won't regret it. And also save your money. We talked about that. Save your money, because your money is going to get you to that place you want to go. If you want to build a business, you got to invest into that business, marketing, photo shoots, hiring managers and people on a team. That takes money. You can't do that with just being broke. It's just, they're not gonna come. I mean, you might have some really close friends that want to just help out, but that's not gonna last really that long, depending on y'all friendship. And just avoid fast. Don't avoid fast food, but eat fast food moderation, so you can avoid food poisoning. And we talked about that a little bit. Don't ever be in that mindset where you think. Don't always try to give short-term fast results, because or fast. Don't try to speed through life. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Enjoy the process, because bro, that's all those things that you can put all those elements into one basket, bro. I don't know. You'll be a way better person.
Yeah. No, exactly. I completely agree with what you're saying, and I think they're really important points. And I think as well, never doubt yourself, and always tell yourself, you can, achieve great things, and that you are, worthy enough to get those things. And don't be afraid to fail. Like you said, be patient, because it's kind of all part of the process, and we're both learning that.
Right. Man, I just want to say thank you bro. What episode number? What episode number is this?
I think it's 164 or 5. Because I've put out.
I'll take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture of this so I can post on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, of course.
Is this going to be on one second? Is this going to be
cool.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Look, as I got on social media, Gary Vee right there.
Yeah, the algorithm.
All right, I'll take a picture.
Yeah, cool.
All right, bro, got it.
Cool. No, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Tyren. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Adam, bro, you know how I feel about you, man. Bro, hopefully this is not the last time we're going to have an episode. One day we're going to be in person. One day we're going to be in person.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, bro. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like either I'm gonna we both have a studio one day, bro. One day you have your own Parrsitivity studio out in the UK, and I'm gonna have my studio somewhere, and we're just gonna travel to each other's studio. We're gonna have the big desk with the mics and with the headphones, bro.
That's cool, man. We'll both have a Jamie as well. Do you know what I mean? On the corner. We'll be like, hey, put that up.
Yes, bro. We're gonna look back when we in that studio. We're gonna look back and we're gonna be like, bro. We're gonna look at each other and be like, bro. You remember when we were doing Zooms? Remember? And it's crazy, bro. It's just that's gonna be an amazing feeling. It's gonna be so amazing, bro. I wish you nothing but the best, bro. I wish you're really nice, man. I really wish you nothing but the best. And I still gotta send you the guests that you could do an interview with and all that.
Yeah. No, I'll do the same to you as well. Same to you.
Yeah. And you said this will be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your channel name?
It's just the Parrsitivity Podcast. Just the same.
Okay. I'll look it up and subscribe to it.
Yeah. Of course, mate.
Bet, man. And hey, send me if you want to send me some clips or whatever, so I can post on my page and all that. I will do all that.